Welcome to Weight Loss Myths Debunked. I'm Rebecca Gahan with Kick at 55 Fitness. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on push notifications so you know every time one of our nutrition discussions gets posted. Weight loss myth number 1. If I want to lose weight, I need to track my calories, I need to count them, and I need to eat as little as possible. That's not true. And the reason being is that all calories are not created equal. So a calorie from fat is different than a calorie from protein, is different than a calorie from a carbohydrate. And the way that your body processes them and changes its metabolic pathways is, again, very different. It triggers different hunger responses, and it can either decrease or increase your metabolic rate. Also, just to put it in perspective, every gram of fat is equal to 9 calories, whereas every gram of a carbohydrate and a protein is equal to 4 calories. So again, not all calories are created equal, which is why strictly counting calories doesn't work when you're looking at weight loss. Number 2, you need to eat less, move more. That's also a misconception. If it were that easy, then we would walk all day or run all day and we would barely eat anything and then we would lose weight, right? No. And that's because not all movement is going to have the same effect on your body. And like we said in myth number 1, just eating less isn't necessarily going to do it because, just to reiterate, all calories are not created equal. Also, just to put it in a little more perspective, it's like telling somebody who's depressed to just cheer up, or telling an alcoholic, just drink less. That's not exactly how it works. And all exercise is not created equal. You will have more success losing weight if you engage in a more efficient weight training / high interval intensity training program that lasts, let's say, 45 minutes to 55 minutes, like our Kick-Ass Boot Camp, versus if you were just to run at a steady pace for an hour. That is going to trigger a fat burning loss in your body. So again, it's not about moving more. You definitely have to move, but it's about the efficiency of the movement. And when we look at the calories, it's about the type of calorie you're eating and how it affects your metabolic pathways. Number 3, weight loss is a linear process. So therefore, you should be losing the same amount of weight every day, every week. False. Are you the type of person who likes to step on a scale every day and you get super excited if you lost a pound or you're down half a pound, but you get on the next day and you're up 2 pounds? First of all, do not get on the scale every day. Do not weigh yourself more frequently than 1 time per week. And it should be at the same time, and honestly, it should be with no clothes on. And the reason being is because your weight is going to fluctuate based on how much water weight you're carrying. If you are a female and you're in the middle of your menstrual cycle, that will impact your weight overall, over time. If you're doing the right things, then you will lose weight and you will see a pattern of weight loss. But you need to track it over an extended period of time versus daily. Because again, you're just going to get nuances and it's not linear. But the trajectory should definitely be that it's going downhill. Myth number 4, eating fat makes you fat. Well, I've got news for you. That's incorrect. Eating fat, bad fat from junk food definitely will make you fat. So that is the type of fat that we want to avoid. But there are a ton of good fats out there. So I actually have an avocado right here, good fat. Egg yolk, great fat. Nuts, really good fat. And honestly, eating real butter, having some milk that is not, completely skim milk is fine. Olive oil, fine. Some of the fat that we have in animal protein, that's good. There's a whole diet that works really well for weight loss and to reduce your chances of developing diabetes long term. So that's the ketogenic diet, where we primarily eat fats and then a moderate amount of protein and a low amount of carbohydrates. So again, eating fat doesn't make you fat. Eating the right fats can actually help reduce your weight, but eating the wrong fats definitely will increase your waistline over time. All right, so number 5, your diet doesn't matter as long as you just exercise more. So I see this all the time. I'll have people telling me, wow, Rebecca, I've been doing your classes 5 times a week and I don't think I really changed my diet and I've gained weight. And by the way, that will take us into another myth further down the road. So the answer is, and you're not going to like this one either, but there's a rule of thumb that weight loss is attributed 80% to what you eat and 20% to your fitness. So they need to go hand in hand and they don't have an equal partnership. What we see a lot of times is when people exercise more, they get hungrier and they think, well, I've been on the treadmill or I've been doing this class. I'm sure I burned 700 and 800 calories. So I'm going to eat 700 calories more. And you might not even know it. You just take an extra piece of bread here. You have a little bit of an extra snack. And the next thing you know, you've worked out for 2 weeks and your waistline is expanding. Something else to consider is most of the watches and calibrators for calories on machines are incorrect. I mean, really, to get a true calculation of the amount of calories that bring you into a deficit, you'd have to do something way more than just putting a strap or a heart rate monitor around and entering in your weight and your age. So don't be fooled that if you work out more, you can eat a little bit more, and in essence, you will lose weight. Okay, this is weight loss myth number 6. I hear this one all the time. I'm not losing weight because I've been gaining muscle and muscle weighs more than fat. I don't want to burst your bubble, and I feel like that's what I'm doing here, but the reality is that it takes a great deal of training and eating the right foods and time to build muscle. That is especially true for males, but even doubly true for females. So females actually take twice as long to build muscle in the same amount of time. And we can talk about this in further discussions. But the reality is that especially if you're a female and you, let's say, are engaging in
Kick at 55 boot camp,
you will need a long period of time to really put on the type of muscle that will show up on the scale and therefore make your mass decrease. So with that being said, if, let's say, the first 2 months of working out with us, you're not seeing a decrease, it's not because you put on significant muscle. It's most likely because you need to really examine your diet and you're probably not eating the right way to lose weight. All right. Finally, number 7. This is our final myth. You're not gaining muscle. You're just not losing fat. So in the end, the reality is sometimes if we're at a plateau and we're stagnant, we think, oh, again, we're just building muscle. The reality is we're not doing the right things to reduce our fat internally, which is why we need to look at different diets, like whether it be intermittent fasting, whether it be our diet where we really look at the glycemic index and eat accordingly based on the sugar values in different foods, or the ketogenic diet where we reduce the amount of carbohydrates, eat a moderate amount of protein, and eat a high amount of fat. And thereby, we can actually start to reduce the fat in our body because our body starts to burn fat when it's out of carbohydrates. These are just different options. But again, I'm going to reiterate, if you are not losing weight, we need to look at ways to burn fat and what is the best way and how will you respond to it. So all in all, there's a lot of myths out there. These are the top 7 that our clients address with us. We'll talk about more down the road. And this was Weight Loss Myths Debunked. We hope you liked this discussion and learned something. Send us feedback down below. Give us a thumbs up. And remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on push notifications so you know every time one of our discussions posts. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We will see you tomorrow. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on push notifications so you know when our next workout posts.